Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Duke with the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this: refocus or restart. Oh yes, folks. One is definitely harder than the other. So I'm on a conversation with a doc. We're interviewing to work with me in coaching. And in the conversation, she brings up just the challenges that she had over the course of about the last, I'd say about like 7 to 10, maybe 14 days with Hurricane Dorian. Preparation for her home, getting things taken care of, evacuations, all those sorts of things. And how it threw her off track. And so for those of you, depending on where you are in the world, I guess if you don't know, the 2019 at the end of August, beginning of September, Hurricane Dorian, a very, very massive hurricane, swept through the Bahamas up into Florida and on the East Coast. So as we're talking in conversation, she's talking to me about how I need to get restarted again. I got to start doing this again. And, I asked her, okay, well, where are you at? Because she's actually done some online coaching with me over 3 months. And so the only interaction we've really had is via email. But yeah, she's had tremendous change as a result of doing that. And so she's in this mode now. And the program that she was in had ended 2 weeks prior. And so she's in this mode now where she felt like she had to restart. I said, well, tell me where you're at now. She's like, well, before the hurricane, I was here. Now I'm here. Before the hurricane, I was here. And now I'm here. I said, wait a minute. See, if I separate the two and look at it as like an endpoint, like I ended the summer, here's where I was, the hurricane threw me off, now I have to restart, it's going to be way harder to do. I mean, think about it. If you and I go for a bike ride right now, and we're riding our bikes, and we start to coast, like we can coast to regain energy and to just like take a breather, and then we can start pedaling again and get going. Or I can ride the bike and then just stop. I need to stop. And I hop off the bike. If I hop off the bike, I have to restart. And restarting is, now I got to get the pedals cranking again, and I got to push and push. Okay, now I'm back in the game. But if I'm coasting, I already have momentum. I just have to put my feet back on the pedals and keep going. So it's a matter of, and as we had this conversation, it's what I said to her. I said, well, how about we talk about refocusing? Because from what I'm hearing, things were fantastic before the hurricane, and the hurricane was an obstacle in the road. That was it. It was just an obstacle. So let's look at where you were, because that's a true ending point. You did those things. We can't take them away from you, number one. Number two, let's acknowledge the successes that you had. And number three, let's figure out what we have to do to refocus from Hurricane Dorian into getting you back on course, which we call a course correct. So my refocus is just going to course correct me and get me back on path to the successes that I had already created. Or I can feel like I completely stopped and I have to start over again. Think about that. Think of the difference. I can just course correct. I'm already on path. I just have to course correct. Or I can just figure out what I have to do to start all over again. Even you as a listener know by listening to that, you're like, man, I don't want to start all over. Think of the work that you've put into maybe body, your being, your relationships, your business. And all of a sudden, if you had to start over, how enticing does that sound? Or if you look at your life and say like, no, I just need to refocus. That's it. I just need to find a way to refocus. That's way different if all I have to do is refocus versus starting over. And so this changed the dynamics of our phone call. We were able to build on this phone call as a result of that shift in energy and in focus. And so it's why I bring it to you today. Just take a look at your life, because look, we all have Hurricane Dorians in our lives. We all have, like, if you've listened to me for any period of time, you know that in April 2019, we've got you probably, even for those of you listening, like, oh my gosh, it's going to bring up the landscaper again. And then all of a sudden we have the tornado, and then throw in there my one-year-old with a broken leg. Like, we've had some stuff happening in our lives over the course of this year as well. And it's like, but I don't want to look at it as restarting. I just have to refocus. I'm just feeling a little off track. I just need to refocus. I need to course correct. So I want you to take a look at your life. Just right now, just stop whatever you're doing. If you're driving your car, like seriously, pull over. Get off the side of the road. Just pull over. And just stop. If you're at work, stop whatever else it is that you're doing. Stop. And sit down, pull out a pen and paper and your journal and just write down, okay, where am I? Where am I in my health, in my relationships, in my spirituality, in my business? Do I need a course correct? Do I need to refocus in this area to get me to where I want to go? Because it's so easy. I mean, life does this anyway. It's so easy to shift in habits and we don't even know it. This is why I review every single day, because it's so easy to fall off track and not even know it. until you're 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road and you're like, oh my gosh, when did I start doing that? But if I check myself daily, or if I check myself at minimum weekly, it allows me the opportunity to refocus, to course correct, to continue going down a path of accomplishing the goals and the visions and the dreams and the targets that you want to hit. So take the time right now to just take a look at your health, take a look at your spirituality, take a look at your relationships, take a look at your business. And are you on track to getting to where you want to go, to where you want to end at the end of this quarter or at the end of this year? And if you're on track, what can you do to either maintain the efforts or push and accelerate and create more out of what you wanted? Or if you're off track, what can you do to course correct to get yourself back on track in the first place? All right, that's all I've got for you here today, folks. Hey, if you haven't already, you know the drill. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher, rate and or review and subscribe to this podcast. I'd love it and appreciate it if you would share this with people that you know, you love, who trust you, that want to maybe be lit up every week, Monday through Friday, by hearing this podcast. And finally, you know it, you know the drill. If you need anything, let me know. Reach out. If you need support or you have a question, just hit me up. Dr. Troy, DRTROY at commitandgo.com. That's all I've got for you here today. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action to create big ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.